What Gunuradus? Welcome to episode 16 of Kahnawake. I'm your host, Abigail Jacobs, joined today by Tewatohnhi'saktha Executive Director Tammy Delaronde and PlanIT Consulting's lead consultant, Reaghan Tarbell. Hi, ladies.
Yawa
for having us.
Today we're here to talk about the upcoming Tewatohnhi'saktha Opportunity Fair. Tammy, what inspired Tewatohnhi'saktha to launch this opportunity fair?
Well, as you may be aware, Tewatohnhi'saktha used to hold the annual golf tournament, and it was, to be honest, a challenging event to organize, and it wasn't quite in keeping with the Tewatohnhi'saktha mandate. So after, numerous discussions with our senior management team, we decided that we wanted to hold something of this nature, and it really just kind of evolved after several of our meetings into this opportunity fair.
What are the main goals that you hope to achieve with the opportunity fair?
The goals we would like to achieve are to have community members come in of all ages, from youth to adults to people who are retirement age who just may want to get another job part-time. But what we want to do is to offer them opportunities. So we have a variety of guests who will be coming to the event to speak about their career paths, as well as we're going to have informative booths with different organizations there who can offer their current jobs and as well as future jobs. And not only that, we're going to have interesting people who are guests who can network with the community members.
So it's going to be a happening spot to check out.
Most definitely.
Lots of things going on. When and where will the event be? Where do people need to go?
So we'll be having the event at the Knights of Columbus Hall here in Kahnawake on September the 25th. The event starts at 9 a.m. and runs until 7 p.m. And we're also having workshops at Dudama's Cafe right across the street.
Cool. And Reaghan, you've been such a big help in planning everything. Kahnawake to PlanIT Consulting and all of the work that you guys have been doing. And you've really brought together the experience that Kahnawake will have when coming into the opportunity fair. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So basically, it's taking Tewatohnhi'saktha's vision and bringing that to reality. So it was a great opportunity for me to be involved. And the way I look at it is it's kind of like one-stop shopping, so there's one place where there's going to be so many different resources, organizations, people, community members, people who are involved in hiring, training, etc. So it's basically the definition of opportunity. Opportunity is what you make of it. So if you go in there and you are willing to ask questions and learn and take the information, whether you're at the beginning of your career, just starting to think about what is it that I want to do? How do I want to make my living? How do I want to accomplish my goals as, I want to be a business person. I want to own my own business. How do I get started? How can I take that next step? Or if you're mid-career and thinking, okay, is there something else out there for me? Come and check it out. Or you may just be a community member. You're happily employed. You want to come and ask some questions. Yeah. You want to find out some information. I always want to learn more about this. Can you tell me this is the place? This is the place to come and do that. It's all under one roof. Well, several roofs, because we are in the Knights. We're in Dudama's Cafe, and also we're going to have a tent outside of the Knights. That's where the panels will take place.
As you guys said, it's something that's open to everybody, all stages of your career. And it might seem like it might be a little overwhelming how much is going on. So what kind of layout can people expect when they're coming in? What are they going to see? Where should they head if they're looking for something in particular?
My suggestion or my recommendation would be come with an open mind, come in, register. You can pre-register. You can walk in and register. We'll have a booklet. There will be a layout. Hopefully that all stays according to plan. But, when it comes to spacing things out, we'll see. But we're going to have people there. Dewa staff is going to be there saying, if you go up to say, I'm looking for this, they can direct you. Also just come in and go walk around, walk around to different booths. You know how it usually every organization or business has their signs or banners. They're wearing their t-shirt or golf shirt, which has their logo. They're going to be welcoming you. So I suggest walk around to the different booths around the nights. And in the middle will be Dewa. So you can go right up to them if that was what you came to ask questions or learn more about. But just take your time. Go around, talk to people. If you're looking for a certain booth or a person and you can't find them, Dewa and myself are there to help. We can help point them out to you. Have something to eat. There's going to be food, grab a coffee or a water, and just kind of try not to be overwhelmed. You don't have to stop at every single booth. If your intent is to go to Dewa, if your intent is to go to the fire brigade booth or the hospital booth, we'll help you find them and get the information that you're looking for.
So when guests are coming and they find somebody that they're really interested in and they want the opportunity to kind of bite into a career opportunity, should they be making an appointment, or is there the opportunity for them to converse with an employer?
There definitely is the opportunity to, depending on who's there from the organization. I do know a lot of the communications and HR people are going to be manning their tables, so they should have the information that you need. But in addition, there also is the opportunity within the Knights of Columbus to have a little more in-depth conversation one-on-one in little areas that we're going to have exactly for that purpose. Nice. So you can talk to people at the booth, but if it's a little busy, don't be shy to say, can we talk in a few minutes? Mm-hmm. Maybe. But in terms of like appointments, if you wanted to make an appointment with them later at their place of business, don't be shy to ask that. But definitely take advantage of the time, because it's from 9 to 7.
Yeah.
Take advantage of the time there, depending on how much time you have, to get your questions answered, and get the information that you are looking for and the information that you need.
And just to add to that, we will have a job board where we're going to be posting the job descriptions from each of the organizations. And the organizations will also have copies of their current job descriptions on hand that you can also take with you. So that would really be informative for you to grab and request so that you can, look at it at your leisure. And then in the future, make connections with each of the organizations to get more in depth.
I like that. Make connections. That's really what it seems like is going to be happening here, hopefully. Like connections between the kiosks, but also if we have this job board, is that only for the kiosks, or can anybody come in and post a job?
The job board is open to everybody. So every organization, even though the organizations that are going to be there are a lot of the larger organizations in the community, but any business in the community. So if, you have a chip stand, you have a store, you have a gas station, and you're looking for somebody to fill this spot, you are more than welcome to come in and just print it out, have a physical copy, whether it's a job description or just a job posting, as long as there's a contact information on there so people can get in touch with you if you see it. So you think about it, you're reaching a large segment of the community in this way.
Awesome. And so now we've talked about the kiosk, but you did mention there's also a tent outside. What's going on in the tent?
Ooh, it's going to be very, very exciting. That's where we're so happy about this part. We're going to have a number of panels happening throughout the day. I can just give you a very, very quick rundown. So at 10 a.m., we're going to have youth workforce, different paths and individuals' journeys. That'll be our first panel. The second panel will be at noon, Future in Focus, in-demand jobs and workforce planning in Kahnawake. The next panel will take place at 2 p.m., new opportunities for Kahnawake businesses. The next one will be at 4, culture and creativity, opportunities in language, culture, and arts. And the final panel will take place at 6 p.m. It's called From Local Roots to National Reach, Building Sustainable Indigenous Tourism in Kahnawake.
Wow. So we're really touching on everything, just like the services here at Tewatohnhi'saktha. We have business services and workforce and tourism. So we're covering the full services as much as we can in our panels. And we also even have, I see on your list here at 10 a.m., we're also hosting something in Dudamaw's Cafe.
Right. There's an additional workshop taking place, which is called Young Women Entrepreneurs, Building Business with Purpose.
Cool. So of all these panels and all these kiosks, who are some of our notable speakers or exhibitors that you're especially excited about?
It's kind of hard to pick, but I will be very upfront and transparent that my forte is not really in the business opportunities, but I understand that there are people coming who have different information about resources available and funding and grants and
Nice.
training. I think I would have to say that youth workforce panel is something that I'm in particular looking forward to. So we have several panelists from the community, and it covers a wide range of professions, schooling, goals. So we have Reaghan Tarbell, who is a paramedic and medical student, Maddie Diome, who is in environmental sciences, Gracie Daibo in engineering. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing this, Guawanawi Daibo, who is in construction. And we also have Shaina Novalinga, who is an Inuit influencer and businesswoman.
Oh, no way. I follow her on Instagram.
So I think, the idea for this panel is for them to talk about their paths and how they found their way, and maybe to give like some inspiration or words of encouragement. And it's also, I wanted to point out with one of the panelists in particular, she mentioned to me that she was making a career change. And she said, is it okay if I'm still on this panel because I'm going back to school? And I said, of course. It just shows that not all career paths are linear, and we go in different directions, because we have to do ultimately what is best for us and where our passions lead us. So yes, of course, I said, we want you on there. Yeah. So I think it's also important to note as well that from our group that we have here on the panel, it seems like they're very motivated and they seem to know what they're doing, but it's okay if you're not. If you don't have that, like, oh, I don't know what I want to do, and how am I going to find that?
Whoever has it all figured out. Right. Nobody.
So and maybe they didn't, maybe they had a harder time. Maybe I'm kind of like making it sound a little too simple, which I apologize for. But, this is a good opportunity to come and learn from people who are going after what they want, and they may have gone through maybe they were thinking about other careers, but ultimately just come and learn and hear their stories, because it's motivating. And this is our future on this panel. One more I wanted to just talk about is the culture and creativity, the opportunities in language, culture, and the arts.
Yes.
I had an opportunity to go to Tewatohnhi'saktha recently, and it was for blueberry and medicine picking trip. And I brought my son, and I was speaking to a young gentleman there, Brandon Rice, and he was telling me the work that he does. He's a cultural facilitator with KSCS. And, one of the things that they do is they take young people to Tewatohnhi'saktha. You learn about hunting, medicine picking, different things like around our culture. And, to think like this is a job that somebody could go for, is amazing. Not to mention that the many job postings that you see that have to do with language, we need cultural educators, we need people in curriculum, we need teachers and speakers, so I don't know how much this has grown in the past several years, but from when I was younger, I don't recall seeing a lot of these opportunities, and now it's very exciting to see these opportunities. I mean, we know there's a need, obviously, for speakers, but to see these opportunities grow. And if that's what you're passionate about and you can find a job doing that, that's amazing.
No, I noticed that our themes this year include a lot of language revitalization and cultural preservation and the arts. And it seems like these are really important areas to highlight right now, especially we have our tourism panel, Indigenous tourism, building sustainable Indigenous tourism, and the language and culture and the arts. So what kind of why are we looking at these so importantly now, do you think?
For one thing, you did mention the new cultural center that we're going to be unveiling, hopefully by early 2026. So within the new cultural center will be a theater, as well as we're going to have a tourism kiosk. We're going to have the museum. We're going to have the Ungwawana Raudijokwa Language and Cultural Center physically located in their new premises. So there's going to be a lot of growth happening. There's going to be new jobs that are being posted for those positions within the building. And so it's it's really going to take a lot of people to fill all of those positions and get the theater to a place that theater and cultural center to a place where we really want it to be and to be welcoming tourists into the community with, a quality museum that we're very, very proud to unveil. That's something that we're very excited about and looking forward to coming next year.
Definitely. And our panels are all here, our panelists, our kiosks. I'm looking at your list of kiosks here, and there's about 20 confirmed attendees that are ranging from all different industries, whether you're business or in healthcare, all these industries. And how will we be kicking off the day?
We are kicking off the day with a keynote. Well, we're going to have an opening, our traditional opening, and then we're having our keynote by Kahnawake Jacobs. So our local, very well-known and talented actress, director, and writer as well. I hope I'm getting all of your credits correct, Kahnawake. So she is going to be joining us for the keynote, and I'm looking forward to hearing her speak. She's very talented, very driven. So I'm interested in hearing that. That's kicking it off. And then we're going to have a welcome by Tammy. And then after that, we kick off the morning with the first panel, the youth workforce. Now, at the same time as the panels are going on, if you're not in a panel, you can go into the nights and you can go and walk around. You can also attend the other panel that is happening at Tewatohnhi'saktha Cafe at 10 o'clock, which is the Women in Business.
Yes.
So we have Maris Jacob, Molly Huntington, and Maris is of PlanIT. Molly Huntington is of Roots and Patterns. And also Kirby, who is a makeup artist. And basically the idea is to learn more about how they got to their point of opening their business, what challenges they've seen, what support they've received, and any words of inspiration to young people who are wanting to be entrepreneurs as well.
And we also have a resume writing workshop presented by our very own workforce development counselors. You're not 100% sure how to draft a resume, or if you want help just, updating your current resume, please drop in. They're more than willing to help.
So we're looking at the big day on September 25th from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. How can do they need to buy tickets? How can we register? And how can everybody expect to participate?
So the event is, there's no charge to attend. So it's free. We do ask for number purposes that people register prior to the event, and you can find the registration link on DEWA's website under Opportunity Fair. It's a very simple registration. The day of course, walk in. If you haven't registered and you want to attend, yes, you can attend. Just walk in. You can register there in person. There will be DEWA staff to help you. And you can check everything out, attend the panels. And by registering, we are having several different prizes. So we have a grand prize. I'll let Tammy talk about that. But we also have several smaller prizes, which are, and smaller is, that maybe not the right word, but, very nice prizes, which are little incentives, to be part of the day. So we'll be drawing those and the grand prize at the end of the day. In addition, there's also food. And by you registering, that helps us with our numbers. So we will have morning breakfast. People are welcome to come if you want to go in the morning and then you have the rest of your day to take care of your business or errands. Come in the morning, have coffee, have something to eat, do your visiting of the booths. Or if you can come at lunch, don't worry about going grab something somewhere else, and come and have something, have lunch there, talk to people, etc. And same with dinner. There will be food served for dinner. So, if you don't have food and you're hungry, that's not an excuse. There's food there. And just a quick shout out to our participating chefs. We have Perfect Pairings, we have Messy Kitchen, and also John Owen's Oasis. Nice. So now to them for making our day special. And there's coffee, of course. If you're getting there early in the morning and you didn't grab a coffee, just come on in and have a coffee.
And so now this sounds so exciting. And we also have door prizes and things throughout the day. It's going to be a really fun event. Tell us about the prizes, Tammy.
Throughout the day, we're going to have various prizes drawn for Shop Kahnawake gift certificates. And I'm very excited to say our grand prize is Canadians versus Rangers tickets. Some very good seats. So if you would like to register early, please go ahead and do so. But if you're a hockey fan, this is going to be a great prize. So please register now.
And I'm sure even if you're not a hockey fan, I'm sure there's somebody in your family who is a hockey fan of one of the two original 6 teams. You know what? So that's a great prize. You know, your chance to win. Come on through those doors.
So how can people register and find any other information that they need?
We have a lot of information on Dewa's website, dewa.ca. There's also information on Facebook. There's lots of profiles of the bios, and at the bottom, there's the link to the website. So we have a QR code for registration. So if you look on the social media, if you look on the website, there's also different flyers around the community, and you'll see the QR code.
Nice. So you're going to be in the nights, find a job, find an employer, go across the street, zhuzh up your resume, and have it all done by the end of the day.
Yes, and you can also order a delicious coffee at the Damas.
Exactly. And I want to mention one more thing too. We are very excited to have K103 doing a live broadcast from about 9 to 12. So it's nice. It makes it that much more exciting.
There's a lot going on, and we hope to see you there. Thank you, ladies, for your time today. We cannot wait for Tewatohnhi'saktha's Agwego-Skatne Tewatohnhi'saktha Opportunity Fair on Thursday, September 25th from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Knights of Columbus.